What's good, everybody?
I'm Lean.
I'm Jane.
And this is
Are You Sober?
Episode 2.
2.
We're sorry for missing out on you guys last week.
We were just overthinking, had to film a bunch of shit.
We were too faded.
We were really fucked
We were
up.
too faded. To be completely honest,
Yeah.
we were too faded. But on today's episode, we're going to be talking about
Relationships, situationships, entanglements,
everything that's involved with
Yeah.
you and somebody else.
in the love
Spectrum.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm gonna go first because I was really excited to talk about this shit because I don't fuck with relationships. I don't like them. I'm not good at them. I don't have I've never been on look, I've been in 2-3 year relationships at the same time. Even though one of them was a relationship, the other one is like a situationship kind of thing. And yeah, so my situationship was more of just like, are we gonna be together? Are we not?
a fun time,
but also like
confusion.
Yeah, and like kind of toxic because it was more of like stringing me along and then like not, and then like selling dreams, and then like
here's a ticket
and I'm buying them.
Here's a ticket.
Like
You're out.
and it was just fucking like a lot, which like I get like some people just get off of like, you know.
Oh yeah, there's so many different types of people. There's the ones that like to hurt, the ones that like to be hurted. They be sad, bro. But there's all types, and that's why I feel like relationships are hard just because like everyone, like I said, everyone's different, so you don't even know. Like sometimes some people don't do it like maliciously, but some do, and like you could end up hurting the wrong person or just like hurting the wrong person.
Yeah, like for example, at the time when I had met that person, like I wasn't really like, I was more on like some, I guess, really vulnerable and really innocent, and I hadn't really like had
Innocent vibes.
Yeah, like I was really like innocent. I hadn't had like my feelings played with, and like they kind of just like fucked me over, and like that ended up fucking me up for other people because now like I treat people like shit. Like I don't mean I string people along or anything. I just like
don't give them a complete self of
like I don't
of herself.
Like
not 100.
Yeah, I'll never give you 100. Like
maybe like 65.
No, maybe like
45.
Yeah, 45. Then that was my problem with my like last relationship. Like we, like I you get me, I had a lot of love for him, and I know that he had a lot of love for me, but like I wouldn't give myself fully, and that like destroyed our relationship. And like it was just like a shitty ass thing. I mean like now it's just a lot. Okay.
But like it happens, you know, when people, like she said, that made her the person she is. Like everyone, like there's like some people are caught up in like high school relationships, and it's like, why are you caught up in something that you did when you were like
and that's on period. I feel like, I mean, I get it, like, you know, like
it's
you
first
don't
love,
forget
you know?
trauma, and you don't forget first love, but it's like,
but you gotta let shit be. Like, bro, you were like 14 at that age. You really think your 14-year-old self is the same as your, if you think you're the same person as your 14-year-old self, you got mental issues.
yo, like mental,
you need to grow up.
yo, on God,
You need to grow up. Like you could beat yourself the same, but growth wise, at least, like personality wise, like I get it, you know, like, oh, I'm into the same stuff, this and that, but like mentally wise, like you growing, grow up, bro.
like don't stay stuck, even though it sounds kind of hypocritical.
No, yeah, but it's different. I mean, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
You
don't
could be hurt, but
you could be hurt, but don't, bro, like don't drag that into like other things, like especially like in relationships. Like you're gonna let that one person stop you, which, like I said, I know I sound like a hypocrite because I let my situationship, like I let that hurt stop me from like being with other people.
it's more as a cautious way, not
Yeah.
as a like, oh,
Like, I'm really careful.
Careful rather than like being like, no, I can't do this because
like, for example,
this bitch when I was 14 hurt me.
Exactly. For example, in my relationship, like in my last relationship with my ex, like the reason we didn't work out was because on top of me being really closed off, like I'll open up to you, but slowly, but
surely.
Yeah, but like he was just on some like, we're not gonna do this and that because I already did that when I was 14 with like some other bitch, and like I can't give you that. So it's like, you're not trying to meet me in the middle, I'm not gonna meet you in the middle either, and then this is just gonna go to shit.
Yeah, it's like everyone's different. So if I go out with A breaks my heart, and I'm here thinking B is the same as A, why even try with B?
But then you force B to like open up and give you a chance and be loyal
and be this and
but then you're like, actually B, I don't even like you and I don't want to be with you because
A fucked me up.
So then it's like, you just wasted B's time.
You did waste B. And guess what?
And first of all, fuck A.
Fuck A.
And fuck you.
And it's fuck Pretty Little Liars too. Because fuck A, bitch.
Yo, and it's like, bro, like it's such a waste of time. And then like, and another thing that what that comes into was like, okay, you break up and then some exes try to stay friends with you, and like you can't be friends with someone that you were in love with or whatever the case may be. Like that shit is weird.
Unless you guys, I've seen like recently I was like at some place and like I saw some girl and this guy and he was like, oh yeah, that's my ex, and I'm like, after he had just told me about some shorty, like, in front of her. I'm like, dude, like, don't put me in that weird-ass position. Like, you may think your ex doesn't, like, give a fuck, but she's there for a reason. Or vice versa. You're there for a reason, too, because you can't let shorty go. Because why the fuck... Your friendship may have been good, but your ties are way too strong for you to be friends with somebody again.
You can't...
There's so many other people.
I've tried.
There's...
But the comfort dynamic is just like, you think you could be friends, but then you see each other and then you're like, oh my god,
no boundaries.
Like,
literally no boundaries.
Like if you're still dating and then it's like, yeah, but like we're just friends. Like
don't think otherwise because this and that.
Yeah, like, and it's like, well, how do you expect people not to think otherwise? Like, it's just natural. Like, we're humans.
And then there's people who like love to be in a relationship, will literally like break up with somebody and then have another boyfriend and then have another boyfriend. Like they have them lined up because they can't feel alone.
That's insanity to me.
Which is also sick. Like there's so many different types of sick, but top two is like not being able to be alone and being with someone just to feel like you have power over them, like doing shit maliciously to them, you know?
Bro.
And that's a cheers for that one.
That, literally.
Look at her cup. She faded.
I'm faded.
But like I said, like, so yeah, back to that. There's people who like love to be in relationships and shit, and then there's people who are stuck in relationships because they feel like they're way too much in a comfort, or like, and even when like they break up, too much comfort to even like leave each other's side. And it's like, why do you want to be stuck in a fucking box? Like, you live on fucking Earth. I know Earth is shitty, but
there's like millions, billions of
people. You could be shitty like, with somebody else, bro.
On God.
We could be sad together, bro.
That type vibe, but no, I feel like now, like, also, like, I also do think, like, a lot of people, especially now, like, in these times, like, want to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and shit because like they're sad and like how you just said, like, be sad together, but that's not okay because then like you're like that's like if we were going
blind leading the blind.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, like I'm like forcing
sadness upon, it's like a whole
no, and then we're trying to make each other happy, but it's like you can't be happy together and unless you're happy like just with yourself. Because then you're just gonna be depressed and you're gonna start fighting and then or like dragging each other down, and it's just like
it's a disaster. Like I was gonna say something and I forgot, but it'll come back to me. But
I don't know.
This is a moment of silence.
Because I would just talk on her behalf.
What was I thinking?
Basically, like. I don't, another thing, which, like, I know we're kind of, like, all over the place, but, like, also in in regards to like relationships and shit, I know a lot of people like to like sometimes change for the person that they're with. Like, oh, I'm gonna stop doing this because they told me to stop doing that.
If they met you like that, I mean, if it's for the better,
then do it. But if they're just trying to change how you are as a person, or trying to get you to stop being friends with certain people, or like, bro, like, you can't let someone like have control over you like
that's
that.
manipulation.
If you don't like the people I hang out with, that's not my fault. They were here before you, they're gonna be here after you. If you don't like the way I dress, that's not my problem. Like, I'm my own person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't have to force your ideals on...
You're supposed to be collabing with this
exactly.
person.
Not trying to switch up their whole shit.
You're supposed to be building together, like, rooting... Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Then there's some people who feel like they need to be in a relationship to feel like they have their shit together. What type of bullshit is that?
Oh, man.
No, like...
We know
a few, like, yeah. We most definitely know a few, and it's like, dude, like, you're already doing so much for yourself that you're gonna be thinking that you need a whole person,
like, you to
complete your, bro, what? You just made it this far without somebody. How the fuck is that other person gonna help? That person's gonna drag you down sometimes.
On God, I think the only person you should be worried about having
satisfied is yourself.
Is yourself. Yeah. Like, that's literally...
Shout out to self. That bitch is crazy.
Shout out to self for real.
That bitch be tricking you. She be tricking your mind, but...
She be coming through.
She here for a fun time.
Exactly.
Not a long time.
And it's like, bro, there's just so many...
Just don't put yourself in a fucking predicament where you're being a bitch to somebody, where you feel like you're boxed, you feel like you're being, like, submissive to somebody, or you're feeling dominant towards somebody.
The only time that submissive and, like...
in bed.
Exactly.
In bed.
Other than that, no. Like,
equal partners.
Exactly. Equal.
Because if not, then, bitch, you're dating your mom. Bitch, you're dating your dad, and that's fucking weird.
Another thing that I'm gonna say right now that, a lot of people, like... For example, in like the things that like Lena and I want to do, or like that some of you that watch this want to do, like we're all like creative in our own way. I feel like two people that want to make it in like these like fields, like you start competing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sometimes it's good,
but sometimes it's not, because like
they get jealous.
Bruh.
The other half will get jealous.
They get jealous, and it's on some like, oh, like there can't be like two rock stars in this relationship. Like there's only room for one. And bitch, it's me. Because the fuck, like...
I just burped, I'm sorry.
It's like, they get like Lean said, they get jealous and they just don't want to help you, or
it's
like,
a real life setup. That's a setup, because...
Or sometimes just use you for the shit that you could do for them. And
exactly.
that shit
to bring them up to the top.
Yeah.
And then once they're at the top...
They're like, alright, bye.
You're dropped. I'm at the top and bitch, you dropped.
Period.
Drop top.
And it's like, no, bro. Like, you... At this point, me as a person is saying... I'd rather I condone friendships more than relationships 1,000%. Look, you can get yourself a little fuck buddy.
This is until she falls in love.
Look, I've fallen in love with two people. One of them I never dated, never even like slept with this person. The other person fell in love with hard. And honestly, that's enough heartbreak for me to last me the rest of my life. I'll probably be alive another, like, I don't know how many years. Hopefully.
She'll end up giving someone opportunity. This, like we said in this conversation, A and B, bro. And it's fuck A.
And it's fuck A. Who's A?
It's fuck
I and B. It's fuck A, B, C, the whole
alphabet.
Exactly. But it's like, me, yeah, like, I don't condone relationships.
But thank you so much for tuning in to our second episode. It was just basically
us ranting about
relationships.
Fuck everyone.
And it's, please just be fucking happy. Each episode, it's about us telling you at the end of it, just be happy.
Just be happy and try to make good decisions for yourself. And look, even if you go back to your ex or some shit like that, we're not judging you, because that's me.
Everyone has their dumb bitch moment.
You have your dumb bitch moment, but as long as you can thug it out and you have your friends around you and you know
what you're putting, if you know what you're putting yourself through,
That's all that matters. Because at least you acknowledge it and you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, I do this. I'm going to do this right now. And I know tomorrow I'm going to hate myself. But, like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if you can thug out, like,
Just like, for example, when somebody cheats on you and you get back with them, you're thugging it out right there because you think it's going to go right.
And that's not bad. Sometimes it does go right.
But also, if you're going to go back into that, go in with a fresh start, because then you're just going to be constantly reminding yourself about the past.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is the point of being in something that you're stuck in the past in?
If you can't forgive someone, but you want to be with them because you love them, like, no, you have to fully forgive somebody in order to, like, work on making a relationship better.
So, if you're in a shitty relationship, we love you. And if you're in a good one, we love you.
And if you're single, we love you because you're independent, you don't need nobody, and you love yourself. And that's
get in your bag right now. Get in your bag.
Get in your fucking bag.
Is that the zipper? Because you better be zipping yourself up.
Yeah.
But thank you guys. Episode 3 will be out next Friday.
And yeah, we don't know what we're gonna talk about yet, but
please leave any topics that
any
you like
suggestions,
anything. We'll talk about anything.
Yeah, no filter, anything. So yeah,
thank you guys.
Bye.